So,
Yeah.
but I think to those of us outside the industry, there are many options, but I suspect that if you're in the industry deeply as you were, it's probably like, look, in this case, X is going to happen, and in this other case, Y is going to happen. So can you help us understand that?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. If you pull it all out, it really depends. So if you're just buying specifically now KitchenAid, it's like, what do you want to do with the product? Like, if you're just strictly looking to go straight to customers' home, that's one thing. But KitchenAid in the appliance space or any of these vendors, they have to figure out how to showcase their product. And unless it's all unique pop-up stores, they showcase it that way, and that's the only one they want to display for the customer. With appliances, direct to home or online only is great, but what I've seen work over the years and when we really accelerated the business, you got to be able to see it, touch it, feel it somewhere. Because the problem is if, say, you use KitchenAid again, if everything was online, Best Buy is going to then restrict their product displays because they won't show it anymore because if they're not making money, why would they show it? If it's direct to customers' home with a generous return policy, because this is what's going to happen, is every time you touch the product, the challenge with appliances, margins are great, but every time the product is touched to be delivered or shipped or whatever, it's banged or dented or scratched or whatever it might be. Secondary products are like the biggest detriment for the appliance industry. You've now taken a $3,000 product. You now have to reduce it by $1,000 by the time this thing gets moved because nobody wants an appliance that's scratched. If they're just doing direct to customers' home, they got to be able to figure out what they want to do from the delivery model and then how do they get returns on it. Like, that's where I'm kind of going with this because it's going to cause more strife than anything. It might look good from a profit standpoint, but there's a lot of back-end things that they're going to get hit with.
I forget, does Best Buy have its own delivery network, or does it use contractors or some combination of both?
It's been the biggest train wreck nightmare in any industry. Best Buy has gone back and forth. They used their own delivery agents for a while. They then went to a secondary utilization party. It was like third-party delivery. Scratch and dents are like the biggest nightmare in the industry. Home Depot at one point had GE, who is like world-class in, specifics and delivery and logistics and all that stuff. GE couldn't even figure it out with Home Depot. So they wound up actually firing GE probably like 6 years ago. I think is about the time frame. It is the biggest challenge in the industry. If you can crack the code on how to deliver appliance products without scratching, denting, breaking, whatever it might be, that's where the real money is to be made. Nobody can seem to crack that code.
Yeah. So just going back to the relative brands, and again, I'm understanding your role as helping influence and shape what that floor looks like and what is the product on the floor, and importantly, training the salespeople right when a customer comes in to make an informed, hopefully profit maximizing for the company decision. And so if a customer comes in, trying to understand between the relative brands, Samsung and LG, perception, right, is that those brands have better placement at a place like Best Buy vis-a-vis Whirlpool or GE. And just wondering, in the typical execution, the Monday morning huddle, right, the sales debrief sessions, active shaping or pushing customers to those brands as a result of the relationship that Best Buy has with those, or, again, it seems like customers come in maybe with some idea, but then are influenced by the salesperson. And so how is the salesperson really driving that decision or helping?
Yeah, absolutely. The training and development was the biggest, one of the biggest strongholds that Best Buy was able to develop with Pacific Sales Kitchen and Bath. Like, that's what we distinctly learned. One, you got to showcase the product, which the old looking footprint that Best Buy used to use for appliances was probably, not joking, 1,500 square feet. Limited supply, limited displays, double stack dishwashers, wasn't even aesthetic. With Pacific Sales, it was really designed, because you also have to understand with the appliance business, you're specifically gearing towards, and I don't mean to sound sexist or anything, but it's specifically geared towards the female shopper. It's got to have a great look and feel. It's got to be easy to display, to touch and feel. Dishwashers not being double displayed, so you can actually open it up. From the training aspect, planograms are usually set in appliances, say twice a year, once mid-year, once end of year. So then, again, depending on whatever vendor footprint we wanted, or if Whirlpool wanted to showcase their products, they would show up and pay X amount of dollars to have their products more front and center, or towards the beginning of the footprint pad, or if it was LG or whoever it might be. From the training aspect, that's why we always worked in terms of brand stories. So teaching our employees to make sure that they understood the story behind LG. Because customers, to your point, might come in thinking, hey, I want to get a Whirlpool, But once an employee was really trained consistently on brand stories,